Everyone, welcome to my presentation. Today I'd like to ask you to answer one question. Can you solve this Pokemon battle puzzle? So you know how in chess sometimes they have chess puzzles where the idea is they show you a board and you need to what moves should you use to better reach your destination. I want to do that but with Pokemon. So I will show you a battle, specifically a VGC battle, usually in the middle of it or the end, and I'll give you one position and I want you to solve what would you do in this position and how would you reach the end by winning, or if you can, because sometimes there is no answer actually. The position you're in is just that bad. So okay, first of all, disclaimer. I am not a professional Pokemon VGC player. I am just a lifelong fan and I have watched other better players do their thing. This presentation is not made to be consumed as professional advice. Rather, it's supposed to be a fun game for people who are still getting familiar with the many dimensions of Pokemon battle. TLDR, I'm just a novice player trying to do his own thing. Like it says, I am not a professional player. I played Pokemon Champions, and I am stuck at Ultra Ball. I am not that good, which is why I think this game is good for me, and good for anyone else. The point is, if you like playing Pokemon battles for how complex they can be, then I think that this would be a really good exercise for you. However, if you have played many games before and this seems pretty obvious and not that interesting, then it isn't for you. So this entire game isn't just for VGC players or like anyone who's played the game for a long time. It's for anyone, honestly. For novice, for medium players, or for anyone who just wants to have a fun time doing this. Let's begin. The game we're going to be analyzing today is actually from a match between Wolfe Glick and Marcus Dion at the North American International Championship in 2026, so this year. Both are accomplished players, and during the match, several different interesting and difficult matchups happen. And I want to know what you would do in these situations and how you would get out of it if you can. Let me show you the teams. So Marcus has a Frostlass, has the ability Cursed Body, is timid, and has Mega Stone. It knows Protect, Blizzard, Shadow Ball, and Aura Veil. He has a Villain. Its ability is Moody, it's bold, it has a Mega Stone, it knows Protect, Overheat, Mega Drain, and Rage Powder. He has a Basculation Male, has that ability, Adamant, and a Citrus Berry. It knows Protect, Wave Crash, Last Respect, and Aqua Jet. He has a King Gambit, it has Defiant, it's Adamant, it has Black Glasses, and knows Protect, Kodo Cleave, Sucker Punch, and Sword Dance. He has a Lycanroc, Dusk Form, it has Tough Claws, it's Adamant, and has a Focus Sash. It knows Protect, Accelerock, Rock Slide, and Close Combat. Finally, he has Sneevler, it has Unburden, it's Jolly, it has a White Leaf, it knows Protect, Close Combat, Gunk Shot, and Fake Out. For Wolfe, he has a Charizard that knows Blaze and Timid, as the Mega Stone obviously, it has Protect, Heat Wave, Solar Beam, and Wave Battle, and Weather Ball. He has a Hydreigon that knows Levitate, that is Modest, and has a Choice Scarf. It knows Dark Pulse, Earth Power, Snarl, and Draco Meteor. It has an Incineroar, that is Intimidate, that is Ampish, and has Citrus Berry. It knows Fake Out, Working Shot, Flare Blitz, and Throat Chop. He has a Mamoswine, that knows Oblivious, it's Adamant, and has Focus Sash. It knows Protect, Icicle Crash, Earthquake, and Ice Shard. He has a Sneasler, that is Unburdened, Jolly, has a White Leaf, it knows Protect, Close Combat, Fake Out, and Dire Claw. He has a Toxapex that has Regenerator, it's bold, and has Leftovers. It knows Baneful Bunker, Infestation, Toxic, and Wide Guard. So for this match, we're actually going to be seeing this from the perspective of Marcus. So this is the first situation. You're Marcus, you have a Basculation and a Sneasler, almost full health, and two of your other Pokemon, your Villain and your Lycanroc, are down. Similarly, Wolfe has a Sneasler and an Incineroar. Those are his last two Pokemon. So on his side, Incineroar is almost fully full health. However, his Sneasler is low health. These are all your moves, your items. So in this situation, what would you do? I think it's interesting to speak firstly on the speed battle. From this, you can actually tell who is faster. But from what I remember, Wolfe's Sneasler is faster, so he should go first. But I think overall, it doesn't really matter, because for the game itself, you can't really assume who goes first. So you need to actually assume and predict if you can't go first, what will happen. There are many things you could realistically do. Considering both of the Pokemon are down, I would prioritize using Last Respect, as it can both probably KO both Sneasler and Incineroar. And I would prioritize Incineroar personally, considering how high health it is. But I think the biggest threat right now is its Sneasler, because with a Dire Claw, or Close Combat, or even a Fake Out, it can really mess you up. But on the other hand, I think the opponent knows the same thing. So it's either going to go for a really strong move like Dire Claw, or it's going to go for a Fake Out. Same for Incineroar. It's going to go for Fake Out or like a Throat Chop. So let's say that you do move first. So let's say, for example, your Sneasler goes first and then your Basculation goes second. If your Sneasler goes first, I think the best thing to do in this moment would be to find a way to take down, I was going to say Sneasler first, but would that be the best move? Sneasler is dangerous, especially if it's able to take out one of your Pokemon with like a Dire Claw or a Close Combat. But if you focus too much on it, it gives the opportunity to attack one of your other Pokemon first. And I think if he would mainly go for Basculation first, as it's pretty dangerous right now to its Last Respect move. If he goes first, it's a pretty bad position, because you can just Fake Out into your Basculation, which at that point he can't do anything for that round. Or he could use another move like Close Combat or Throat Chop to attack your Sneasler. Even if you focus on the Sneasler first, it has to protect. So what if you try to focus on Sneasler, it protects, and then you lost a round, and then Incineroar just attacks you. At least with Incineroar, you know it can't really protect, but it can Fake Out, which is arguably a bit worse. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it isn't. I think there are many ways you could approach this, and of course I'm not a professional player, so I'm not really sure what the best move is. I'm not qualified for it, but if I were to make a move, I think the best thing for the time being would be, I think I would protect the Basculation and then try to Fake Out Sneasler with the other Sneasler. But then it depends if this Sneasler uses Fake Out too. At that point it becomes a speed battle on who goes first. And if it goes first, it's not the end of the world, I still have a lot of health left, but I basically don't attack that round at all. And if the Incineroar attacks the Sneasler, that might be trouble. Hey, you know what? I think I might actually just go for that plan. Because for the time being, I think for the opponent's point of view, the biggest threat is Basculation with Last Respects. So I will try to take it out as soon as possible. So I would try to protect, and with my Sneasler, I will try to make sure, I try to find the way to get rid of the other Sneasler as it's already low health, and then once it's down, see what I can do about the Incineroar. And if both Pokemon are still alive by the next turn, it puts in a really bad position. Because then I can just protect in the second turn, and then Last Respect or even Wave Crash into Incineroar. I think that's what I would do. Probably not the best plan, definitely not, but still something that would be like my main instinct. What do you guys think? So let's see what they did in the actual match itself.
And the Basculation is so much to ask Incineroar to deal with, because Sneasler is really not going to offer much.
International champion from 2019, Wolfe and Incineroar having to be on the receiving end of a close combat. It does get taken down to below half HP, but can the Wave Crash from this Basculation actually finish it off? At the very least, this Incineroar does get a bit of HP back from the Citrus Berry, and hopefully its partner Sneasler can help it out with something. A poison may be huge here, as it does get that activation onto the Basculation, with maybe some poison recoil at the end of the turn, Wave Crash recoil.
So in the end, your Sneasler was faster and he went for the Incineroar, it did a bunch of damage, and then your Basculation was able to Wave Crash into Incineroar a second time. It didn't kill it, but still made it like a bunch of damage too. I think that was the best option, and in the end you're in a good position because now neither Pokemon are like did lose that much health, and you put down the Incineroar to a low level, so now both Incineroar and Sneasler are low, and that could easily lead to a KO in the next round. But what do you guys think? What would you have done? And if you can, explain your thought process, and also explain theirs too if you can. Situation 2. You have your Lycanroc and your Frostlass that's Mega Evolved. You have your Hydreigon and your Charizard that's Mega Evolved too. So Hydreigon is pretty low, so is your Lycanroc about half, or both are Mega Evolved, which puts you, I think, in a pretty, not bad position, but not the best one either, because if you play Pokemon Champion, Charizard Y is a monster. It's crazy, especially with Solar Beam. This move, I hate it so much, but I'll digress. Charizard with Solar Beam can be really strong against Lycanroc, especially as it's pretty weak, and with Heat Blast, it can be pretty strong against Frostlass. And let's not forget Hydreigon, that is pretty strong too, especially with Draco Meteor and Earth Power. But you do have your own advantages too, I think. For instance, Frostlass with either Blizzard or Aurora could be pretty strong against Hydreigon. And of course for Lycanroc, Close Combat Rock Slide is pretty good too. And of course, Protect is amazing. So what is the best move to do here? Again, I think it's varied. The biggest threat right now is Charizard for sure. It's just way too strong. And from the opponent's perspective, your biggest threat is your Frostlass. So I think the odds that Charizard will actually go into Frostlass is pretty strong, especially with Heat Wave. He has Weather Ball too. I completely forgot that. It's really good. It depends also who moves first. So obviously the Mega moves are usually pretty fast as well. And I think between Frostlass and Charizard, I think Charizard is actually faster, which is really bad. I would consider protecting, but in the end, if you're not able to kill a Charizard in the next round, what's the point of protecting? You're just stalling until the next round, and what else can you do afterwards? You could protect right now and be fine now, but then eventually get hit later on. Or you could attack right now, do some damage, and potentially like die right then and there. Especially if he tries to focus on the Frostlass with Hydreigon as well. I keep looking at Rock Slide, which is pretty good, but I highly doubt Lycanroc is faster than Charizard in this instance. So you can't really count a flinch or anything. Or you can't really count that it will do even that much. It could do a lot of damage, but not enough to kill either one, I believe. This is a weird spot to be in. What if you focus on Hydreigon first because it's already low level? What happens then? Well, even if you do try to focus on Hydreigon and take it out, you still have Charizard right here, and then it will just kill either one of your Pokemon. Like, no matter what you try to do, in the end, it all comes back to Charizard. If you don't take it out as soon as possible, it will like destroy your team immediately. And you don't have that many moves that are really good against it from the jump. And remember, Charizard goes first too, so you can't really stop it until you can't stop it before it attacks. Maybe I'm wrong about that actually. Maybe it does go. Maybe Frost does go first. Maybe. But there is one thing. Oh, never mind. I was going to say if either Pokemon were actually alive, you could switch into the other Pokemon, and then I believe Mega Frostlass changes the weather. And if you can change the weather, you can remove Blaze for that round, which then neutralizes Solar Beam for that. It doesn't neutralize it, but like Charizard won't be able to like charge immediately. No, I think it's too late. You can't. It depends what the Weather War looks like. For now, it's clearly like light, so Charizard won the Weather War for this moment, which sucks. I think the best move would be to use Aura Veil, because if Frostlass goes first, you can Aura Veil, and then you can protect your Pokemon by dividing the damage Charizard can do against it, and just hope that that's enough for the next few rounds until you're able to actually take down both of them. So I think for this instance, I would go Aura Veil first, and then for Lycanroc, I would think Rock Slide, because you do some damage against Charizard because it's like Flying type, and then you'll be able to take out the Hydreigon pretty easily. But it depends who wins the Speed War, if you will, first, which I don't think Frostlass can win. I think Charizard is faster. But if it is slower and Frostlass goes first, that could be a game changer. You gotta remember, these players are doing all these options in their head in under a minute, which is insane. I think I'd go Aura Veil and then Rock Slide.
Own resources to put out damage. The good news is with 2 KOs down for Marcus, you don't have to worry about switching anymore. You don't have to worry about Snow coming. Marcus protecting at the right turn and find one vulnerable Pokemon and get up a Pokemon. Which but no SR! Just Dark Pulse! Lycanroc down!
Lycanroc just falls to the Dark Pulse there, and so that's going to be the Frostlass left to fend for itself. Try to bring that Justice back for its teammates. It fires off the Shadow Ball, which is going to be good to get the knockdown to the Hydreigon, but Charizard's free and clear. Could just throw a Weather Ball at this Frostlass, knock it out. Doesn't even not going to be the Weather Ball, it's just going to be the single target Heat Wave. And game 1 goes to Wolfe.
Wow. So, in the end, Hydreigon was faster, then Frostlass was faster, and then Charizard was last. I think Lycanroc would have gone like 4th, but I didn't have the time because the Dark Pulse into Lycanroc to kill it. And then he used Shadow Ball to kill the Hydreigon. I wonder what move he had on Lycanroc if it did go. I think maybe it was Rock Slide, maybe it was Close Combat. Like I said, Charizard used Heat Wave to just annihilate Frostlass and kill it immediately. Because now I'm thinking, what could he have done to help himself there? I'm not sure if there is anything really. I think in the end, he was just in a really tough position and he tried his best. But this specific situation is just really tough, especially with the Charizard in the game. What do you guys think? What would you have done to save yourself if you even can? Because I think in this position, it's just like a tough place to actually play from, and finding a good line is just really difficult. Anyways, that's everything. Thank you so much for watching. I'm trying to make new videos around Pokemon that's still around gaming and game mechanics, but hope you like it. So leave in the comments what you think, what you would have done to save the situation, if you even could. explain why my plan actually kind of sucked, if it did, and also explain why the thought process between the players. Again, this is not made for like a professional player because I think it's beyond them. It's made for like just casual players who think high level playing is just really fun. If you like it, leave a like and a comment. Also, subscribe, and I'll make more for sure. Anyway, see you next time. Peace.